Long ago, when the Angami people still wandered across lands, settling in villages rich with life, a great migration took place. The Angamis migrated from Sopfunuo, traveling across hills and valleys, seeking a place to call home. In one such village in Rusoma, a young woman named Zenu lived peacefully, weaving under the shade of her bamboo thatched home. One day, a man from Puduname arrived in the village. As he passed through, his eyes fell upon Zenu, her hands skillfully guiding the loom. Her quiet grace and patience spoke of strength, and the man thought, "She would make a fine wife for my son." With this thought in mind, he approached her family, proposing a marriage between Zenu and his son. When the offer came, she agreed. And so, leaving behind the life she had always known, Zenu traveled to Sopura, where she became a wife and, in time, a mother. The villagers did not forget her. Often they visits her to see her new life. Each time they arrived, they would say, "We visited our sister Sopfu, she is our host." Over time, Sopfu became her name. And as the people spoke of her, the name Sopfunuo was born, the one who welcomes. Sopfunuo remained unwaveringly devoted to her husband, adorning him in the finest clothes, her love woven into every thread. But not everyone admired their bond. As the years passed, Sopfunuo's life was not one of warmth and joy. Whispers of envy stirred among the women, their hearts clouded by jealousy. Over time they fed him bitter words, quietly urging him to cast her aside. Her husband, once kind, grew indifferent. The love that had once bound them together had faded, and soon his words turned sharp, his heart hardened. The village whispered of his cruel treatment, but Sopfunuo endured it in silence. Then, one fateful day, everything changed. Her husband, having spent the day with his companions, returned home and cast a cold glance in her direction. Without hesitation, he ordered her to leave. Sopfunuo did not cry out. She did not beg. With quiet dignity, she took only what she needed, her baby who was breastfeeding, carried on her back and lit a burning pine torch, and walked away. She did not wake the neighbors. She did not seek help from his husband's relatives. She simply stepped into the darkened path, leaving behind the home that had never truly been hers. She walked into the unknown, her baby clutched close to her heart, unaware that something dark was watching. From the unseen, it came, Terhuthi, the spirit of dread, striking her with a force no one could ever trace. No one knows where the blow was dealt, only that she kept moving, bleeding, barely breathing. With every step, the world grew quieter. Her vision dimmed, her breath faltered. Yet still, she held on, because her child was still in her arms. And then, beneath the fading sky of the unknown path, she felt it. The moment her body could no longer obey her will, her legs gave in, her final breath trembled on her lips. And with one last look at the world that had forsaken her, she took her last step. She fell to the earth, silently, gently, as though the land itself mourned her passing. And there, her journey ended, but not her legacy. Meanwhile, Sopfunuo's father grew restless. His daughter had not visited in a long time, and unease crept into his heart. Finally, unable to shake the feeling, he set out for her husband's village. When he arrived, what he found shook him to the core. Her husband was with another woman. Struggling to control his rage, the father demanded to know where his daughter was. The husband answered coldly, "We argued and she left. I watched her torchlight moving in the distance until it faded at a certain spot. I assumed she had returned to your village, but she never had." Fear gripped the father as he retraced her last known path, moving towards the place where the torchlight had vanished. And then he found her, a lifeless body. But something was not right. Her head was turning to stone. A terrible realization filled his heart. This was not natural. Something had happened to his daughter beyond the cruelty of men. Overcome with sorrow, he returned home. That night, he dreamed of her. "Father, if I turn into wood, I will rot. So instead, I will become stone and remain in our village forever." Her father then waited till she turned fully stone. After she turned fully stone, the next morning, her father gathered the villagers. Together, they journeyed back to where she lay. Her transformation was complete. Sopfunuo was now fully stone. As they prepared to carry her back, they noticed something. A small stone lay near her chest. Believing it to be unimportant, they left it behind and lifted the larger stone. But as they walked, a storm erupted. Winds howled, the sky darkened, and the earth trembled beneath them. No matter how hard they tried, they could not move forward. Realization struck them. Had they left something behind? Was the small stone more than just a fragment? Had they abandoned her child? Determined to right their mistake, they returned for the smaller stone and placed it in front of the larger one. The moment they did, the storm ceased. The skies cleared, and the weight that had held them back disappeared. Together, mother and child were finally brought home. The people of the village believed that Sopfunuo was struck down by a spirit known as Terhuothi. Though no one knows the exact place where she was wounded, she managed to walk to Yakuke, a land under Fuchatsumiya Kel. Unable to go any further, she collapsed and died. Her child, too young to understand, remained by her side, crying in hunger. Still needing his mother's milk, he is believed to have leaned against her, but in doing so, he was pierced by her rib cage and died in her arms. Even today, the people of the village do not dare to move her, for they know that if Sopfunuo is disturbed or disrespected, a storm will rise once more. And so, out of reverence, she remains undisturbed, where she rests as an eternal reminder of love, sorrow, and fate. Even as time passes and generations fade, the legend of Sopfunuo remains. She is more than just stone. She is the echo of unfulfilled love, the shadow of betrayal, and the guardian spirit of her people. To this day, the winds whisper her name, the storm rumbles in warning, and the village remembers. Love must not be taken for granted. Betrayal carries a cost, and those who are wronged are never truly forgotten.